is November 30th and it is 10:38 a.m. And I am sitting here by this water, appreciating this view, the peace and tranquility that comes forth from the water. And I'm just enjoying this moment. Today is Tuesday, so gosh, for they know not what they do. But today is Tuesday, and according to African culture, on Tuesdays, you let the water rest, right? So you don't fish in her, you don't work in her. I mean, if you're passing to and fro from wherever your destination is, that's fine. But as far as any work that happens, it does not happen on a Tuesday. You let the water rest. And I won't be here very long because as I'm sitting here, I see people with fishing poles and they are preparing to go set up at the water and fish. Do they know that they're not supposed to be doing this? Probably not. So I don't know, but it's disturbing to me because I know. But anyway, so I'm not going to be sitting here long. I really am going to do this video. I've been sitting here a while already now anyway. So I'm going to do this video and I'm going to get out of here because I got things to do anyway. I ain't got time to sit here and watch them be disrespectful, even though they don't know that they be a disrespect. So today is a great day, okay? Today is a great day. I am a few days closer to my birthday, which is December 16th. I'm so excited for my birthday this year. Yeah, I don't celebrate holidays, so my birthday is always like super exciting to me. I'm just like, yes, even though I really don't do much on my birthday ever. Like, I probably just eat, if anything. And, it's just very simple. It's very simple because really my birthday is not about me anyway. It's about the creator who created me and just really giving thanks to him on this day for creating such a unique individual. So it's really all about him on my birthday. So I wanted to talk briefly about preparing to travel to Africa. And I know there's a lot of people out there who might want to go or who have the thought in their mind, have considered it, but they don't know where to start or the necessary steps to even take to get to the point of being ready to hop on that plane and go. So it's not enough to just say, "Oh, I'm going to go to Africa," and now you hop on a plane and you go to Africa. Like, it's a lot of preparations that goes into that before you can get to the point of boarding that plane to go, right? So step one is, of course, making a decision to go. Making a decision to say, you know what, I'm going. This is what it is. And then setting a date so that you have a goal to work towards so that you want to be there by whatever date of your choice, right? So step two is that you want to make sure that you have your passport. So if you don't have your passport, do I have mine? I do. Okay. So this is my passport. Oh, I still got my flight. Look, I still got my flight in there. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have your passport. So you for sure want to go and you want to get your passport so that you can travel outside of the country, right? Because there's no travel without a passport, period. You're not going nowhere outside of the country unless you have a passport. And I don't care where you're living. If you want to enter into another country, you have to have a passport. So, what does it take to apply for this passport? Well, you have to get the application from your local post office. Sometimes you can walk in, well, a lot of times you can walk in and they have hard copies that you can get from them. You fill that out. It's not hard. Do I have one in here? I don't think so. I did have some in here. I don't think I have it at the moment. Okay. Anyway, I was going to show you what it looks like here in New York. But you just ask for a passport application. They'll give you the application. It's not super difficult to fill out. It doesn't take forever. It's really literally just about like three, it's a front, a back, and then another side of the form that you have to fill. So basically 3 pages. But it's simple and basic information like your name, your date of birth, where you were born, your social security number, and then it asks questions about if you were married or not. And if you are or not, depends. If you are, it'll ask some questions about your spouse, which is very brief questions. If you're not married, you can just skip that whole section and move on. And when you move on to the next page, it's going to ask for your parents' information. So it'll ask for your mom and your dad's town that you were born, date of birth, things of that nature. And so you just fill it out. Once you fill that out and you have that ready to go, you're going to want to go get a passport photo. So I know for me, I went to CVS to have my photo taken for my passport. They do an amazing job. It's about like $15 for the photo at CVS. So you can get the photo taken there, or you can just have it taken at the post office. I don't really know if it's a fee that's associated with taking it, with the post office taking it for you, but they can take it at the post office for you. For my convenience, I just wanted to have everything already taken care of before I arrived at the post office. Like, I literally just wanted to go and drop my application off, submit my information, and be done with it. So I took the necessary step and the extra step of going to CVS and having my passport photo taken there. Super quick process. You just walk in, you let them know that you want to have a passport photo taken. They will take you to their white wall because it has to have an all white background. They'll take your photo for you and make your passport ready, and then you can take that and you just literally staple the photo they give you onto your passport. You'll see like a little slot for your where your photo gets inserted. So you just literally put it on there, you staple it, and then you're going to want to make sure that you have your birth certificate. So if you don't have your birth certificate, you misplaced it, you don't know where it's at, you cannot apply for a passport without this birth certificate. So you want to make sure that you put all your ducks in a row and get your birth certificate if you don't have it. You can go down to your local town office, town clerk, or whatever. You pay a fee. Everywhere is different. Every place depends on where you live. I think in New York it's like $25 to get a copy of your birth certificate, certified copy. So you're going to need that because you have to send your original birth certificate along with your application, along with your photo. They all three of those have to be included in order for you to be successful in obtaining your passport. Now, in the state of New York, and I don't know if it's different everywhere because I can only operate from a New York standpoint because this is where I applied for my passport. So when I went to apply for my passport, the application was 100 and I want to say $110 for the application. And if you want to expedite it, which if you don't have it expedited and you just submit your passport regularly, it takes about 10 weeks to receive it back. So if you're not in a rush and you're planning to go well in advance, then you can just go ahead and pay the $110 and submit all the information and you can wait the 10 weeks. But if you know that you're planning to travel a little bit sooner, or because you know that things with the government can be like very tied up, so it's better to expedite it sometimes, even if you don't plan to travel so soon, because when you expedite it, you're for sure going to get it in 4 weeks. And then when I say 4 weeks, I mean exactly 4 weeks. But to have that passport expedited, it is an additional fee. So instead of paying $110, it now becomes $160. So you pay $160, you get it expedited, you submit your passport photo along with your birth certificate. You pay $160, you get your passport in 4 weeks. So in 4 weeks, you're going to get it. And you got your passport through the mail. After you receive your passport through the mail, they will send you back your original copy of your birth certificate. So they'll send that in a separate envelope. It will not come with your passport, but it will be in a separate envelope, and it'll come somewhere around, if not before, the same time you're going to receive your passport. So great, now you got your passport. Yay! And that means that you are well on your way. That means that you are somebody who can travel outside of the country officially. You are officially ready to travel and see the world, right? So now that you have this passport, the next step of preparing to go to Africa is you have to get a yellow fever vaccine. Now, there's also, it's not a requirement, but it's a suggestion that you take with you some malaria pills just in case you get bit by mosquitoes or whatever. So they recommend that you take malaria pills with you just in case that were to happen. And I believe you start taking them like somewhere close to before you leave. You start taking the pills, and then while you're there, I think it's a few more pills you take to help in case you get bit by an infected mosquito. So they do suggest malaria pills. It's not mandatory. It is a personal preference. But the yellow fever vaccine is a mandatory thing. You have to have that. Let me see if I have it mine with me. See, I love Africa so much. I'm still walking around with it. So once you get the yellow fever vaccine, what I did is I went on Google and I just literally Googled where I can get the yellow fever vaccine at. So a location popped up. I traveled to that. I called the location. I set an appointment, and not I wasn't just gonna travel with myself. I was gonna travel with my kids initially. So I did take my kids to have the yellow fever vaccine done as well. I also submitted for their passports at the same time that I submitted mine. And I'll do another video on what's the process look like for a kid applying for their passport. But really, it's a little bit. It's like a little twist to it, but it's still super easy. But I'll do another video on applying for a kid's passport. But so back to the yellow fever vaccine. So I scheduled an appointment at the center that I found and I selected. I scheduled an appointment for myself and my kids. So all three of us, we went down and we took the yellow fever vaccine. It was a super simple process. No one was in the office. It was just us. It was literally in and out. So we walked in. They gave us our shot. I paid the fee. For all of us, I paid $700. And that was all three of us. But if you're just paying for yourself, it's a little over $200 just for yourself. I think like I don't want to say, is it 260? Might be around like 265 for one individual or something like that. So you pay the fee, and then after they give you the shot, which is very painless, goes in your arm, into the muscle of your arm. It's painless, it's simple. You can detox after it if you want to, which I did, me and my kids did. So you take the shot, and then they give you a vaccination card. So you need to have this along with your passport in order to be able to enter into the country of Africa. You have to have your yellow fever vaccine, you have to have your passport, but you for sure have to have your passport to travel out of the country anyway. So that's just something, but you want to make sure that you do not forget proof of your yellow fever vaccine. They are going to ask for this when you arrive at the airport. They're going to see your passport, and then next they're going to say, where's your yellow fever vaccine? So you have to have this. Don't forget it at home. Don't leave it on your dresser. Make sure that you have that card. Matter of fact, I would recommend even keeping it inside of your passport. So that way you know, okay, I have these things together. Okay, so you're just going to open up your passport and you're just going to stick that right in there. So there's no way you're forgetting that, because where this goes, this goes. It's hand in hand. No way to forget it. That's my suggestion. Next, you are going to apply for your visa. Now, with the visa, it's a little tricky. If you're applying for your visa before you leave the States, you have to make sure that you're applying for your visa within 6 weeks of your travel. So whatever date you're planning to leave, you have to make sure that it is exactly 6 weeks to the date that you're leaving. And you have to apply for that visa. So if you are planning to travel and you know that, okay, I have my passport, I have my yellow fever vaccine, and I only have 2 weeks left before my scheduled departure date, a visa is not going to work. You're not going to be able to obtain a visa here. You're going to have to then get with whoever you're traveling with. Hopefully, it will be Uprise Travel. But anyway, you're going to have to get with whoever you're traveling with, and you are going to have them to write a host letter for you. And and that host letter is going about that. So that host letter you are going to use to apply for a visa upon arrival. So once you arrive in Africa, so you're going to travel with your yellow fever vaccine, you're going to travel with your passport, but you're not going to have your visa. You're going to obtain your visa once you arrive at the airport in Accra, or wherever it is, that whatever African country you decided you want to travel to. So hopefully it'll be Accra, because Ghana is amazing. But when you arrive, we're just gonna say Accra, okay? Because that's where I went. That's what I can identify with. So I'm just gonna say Accra. So once you arrive in Accra, you are going to need to have that letter with you from your host, and you're going to need to present that to the visa upon arrival part of the airport. So once you submit your visa upon arrival, it's $150 fee, super expensive. I'm hoping that they change this. I know other YouTubers out there who vlog about traveling to Accra have mentioned the same thing. It's ridiculous. I don't see the need to why Ghanaians have to pay $50, US dollars, and we got to pay 150. Like, I don't think that's right. It should be the same across the board. It shouldn't matter. Like, when you travel into the US, you don't have to pay a higher fee because you're a foreigner. Like, the fee is what it is. So they have to do better. They got to get with that and make some adjustments to that price, and hopefully they will sooner than later, because it just seems like a money making thing to me, and it's not right. But anyway, as we speak right now, it still stands that it's $150 US dollars in order to receive your visa upon arrival. Oh, I mean, I'm speaking of something different. I'm sorry. Not the visa upon arrival fee. That is what it is. It's $150 US dollars, whatever. I'm speaking in terms of the COVID tests. So I'll get to that in a minute. So cancel that out. Forget I said that. Okay. The visa upon arrival is 150. That's what it is. It is what it is. That's the same for everybody. So you pay the $150 once you arrive at Accra and you get your visa. It's very simple. It wasn't a long line. There was nobody there. It was just me. And I presented my yellow fever vaccine, my passport, along with my host letter, paid $150 US dollars, and that was it. They stamped my passport and gave me a visa upon arrival. Now back up, back up. So now this is the part that you're going to for sure need before you even leave the country as well, which I forgot to mention. You're going to need, if you're not vaccinated, you have to have a negative COVID test. This negative COVID test has to be done within 72 hours before you depart. So you want to make sure that, I would say 2 days before you're scheduled to leave, that you're taking that. So, like, say, for example, today is Tuesday. I'm planning to leave. Let me see. Today's Tuesday. I'm planning to go to, say that you're planning to go to Africa on Friday, right? You're leaving this Friday. You're traveling to Africa. You got your date, everything ready to go. You want to make sure that today, which is Tuesday, or is it? Wait, let me think. Hold on. No. You want to make sure that Wednesday, so tomorrow, you want to make sure that tomorrow you're going to get that COVID test, right? Because you have to have that COVID test done by tomorrow in order to have the results back for you to leave by Friday. So CVS is super good, and that's why I recommend them too, because you get your results back like that. Like, I left on a Tuesday. I took my test on a Saturday, and I had my results back by Monday. So they came back a day before I was scheduled to leave. Perfect. It was great because, nobody wants to be waiting around in a day. Now it's time for you to leave. You still don't have your results. So I received my results back on a Monday. I took my test on Saturday, got my results back on Monday, and I departed to go to Accra on Tuesday. So when you get to the airport to check in, they're going to ask you for your negative COVID test. So you're going to have your passport when you're leaving the country along with your negative COVID test. They're going to ask for those two things when you're leaving. So you want to make sure that you have that negative COVID test on your phone is fine. They can see it on the phone, or print it out if you want, and you can have it with your other documentation. So you want to make sure that you have that. Now, okay, you have that. You're on a plane, you're on a flight, everything's great. Now you arrived in Accra. Before you even get to the point of getting your visa upon arrival, you have to take another COVID test when you arrive. So when you arrive in Accra, now this keep getting these distractions. This is the part that I wanted to mention. It's really pricey. It's $150 US dollars to take the COVID test once you arrive. Okay. Distractions. Like, I really need like just a YouTube phone, because using my personal phone it just makes me want to pull my hair out when I start recording and everyone's calling. But anyway, I'm gonna have to like put on what do you call it? The privacy feature, so that I don't get any phone calls. Do not disturb. That's what I'm gonna have to start doing. I'm gonna start setting do not disturb every time I get ready to go live, because it's ridiculous with the distractions. Thank you, Father, for that solution. Now, anyway, before you even get to the point of being able to get a visa upon arrival, you have to have this negative COVID test. In order to receive that negative COVID test, you have to pay 150 US dollars. And I mean, in order to receive that COVID test, which is ridiculous to me. Like, that's a ridiculous amount of money to have to spend 150 US dollars. Like, it doesn't make no sense to me at all. I don't understand it. I don't comprehend it. So, you pay that fee, and then you by the time you leave the airport, your COVID results will be in, so you don't get them right away. You pay the fee, you go through the process of them swabbing your nose, which is, it wasn't super crazy, it wasn't super painful, it wasn't bad at all. So, oh my gosh, sorry guys. So once you get your COVID result, I mean your COVID test taken, you then go down and you are ready to submit for your visa upon arrival. So once you arrive, you go, you pay the $150, you present your yellow fever vaccine along with your passport, and they will stamp your book and give you the visa upon arrival. And once that's complete, you go down to the bag terminal, you're going to grab your luggage, and then you're going to wait around for your negative COVID results. Now, by the time you finish the process of taking the COVID test, getting your visa upon arrival, if you don't already have it, your COVID test might not even, because for me, I still had to wait like an additional, I think, 10 minutes or so, because once I completed all of this, my COVID results still were not back yet. So it was a bunch of people that was getting a little irritated because they were sitting around waiting for their COVID results to come back in. So what they did was they just had to stand in a line as the results came in. They called your name and they give you your negative results. You now have that physically in hand, and you're able to finally exit the airport and into the streets of Accra. So that is really the process. If anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, insight, maybe your process was different, please do comment below, and do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are aware of when I'm going live. So I will be doing a part 2 to this. My service is crazy. I'll be making a part 2, so stay tuned and make sure you tune in, and see you later. Have an amazing, 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 amazing day.